Okay, guys. So I'm back again. So, the first 50 got us looking good. Just in case y'all missed it, I'm gonna bring it back in here. So this was my first 50 rounds. All right. Let's see, what I can do here with the next 50. See if 100 rounds is enough to eat a hole through the middle of this target. Broken grip. So what we're going to do, we're going to start with the firearm at a low ready, and we're going to have our hand, not necessarily our support hand, good and strong, and right. And we're going to take our primary hand with a good strong grip, right. We're going to take our support hand with the broken grip, and as we come up, we're going to get that grip, get your sight, and take the shot, right. And so what this is doing is really just trying to have a way to simulate carrying, from your holster, but of course we're in indoor range and that's not permitted in here, so we can't pull from the hip and get a full draw. So just to kind of simulate bringing that hand together with this broken grip drill here, okay? So low ready again, so just so y'all can see. Right, like this. Don't have a timer or beeper, so just on my own time. Right. Every time you wanna go back to the broken grip. With a timer, we could definitely work on how long it's taking you to get that first shot out. Oh, I didn't like that grip. But without a timer, you're just going at your own pace. Just trying to push yourself, but every time you want to make sure that you're getting a good firm grip. That one was kind of loose, right? So yeah, so that's the gist of that drill. Now, with us already having a lot of rounds down range, it may be a little hard to tell exactly, which hole is the correct hole. As long as I feel like my grouping isn't getting any bigger, which it might be getting just a little bit bigger, but I'm still satisfied with what I'm seeing from here. No new outliers, within that 8, 9, mostly the 9 or 10. All right. This time we'll go a little further. Magazine, empty gun. So again, this is just another what I consider a version of a low ready drill. Just trying to simulate ways that we can, different ways that our firearm would be, status of our firearm is unloaded with the slide lock back, and just practicing manipulating our firearm and getting it up on target and trying to get on target as quickly as possible. Being self-defense is really, what we focus on here. Oh, that was ugly. That was so bad. So in that particular case, I'm gonna pause right here just to show. So this is kind of why we practice, right? So that particular time I was rushing to get it out. I didn't wait for my sight picture to get correct. And so I had this way right down here, right? So way down here. So, you know, in a self-defense situation, if this was a full body target, you know, that still would kind of hit him, you know, lower midsection, maybe towards the groin, but, you know, it's not on paper right here. So I won't consider that a good shot, but, you know, so far just one. I'm not super mad, but what I will say in this particular instance is that I noticed it, you know, and so that's part of growth as well, just being able to identify and understand, you know, what you're doing that's not correct and how to correct it. You know, in that particular case, I was too eager to shoot, and I pulled the trigger before I had my sight picture kind of locked in where I like it. So firearm is still loaded, and so we're going to continue. Maybe this time even open hand. And the key to this drill is just, you know, making sure that you're keeping the gun down range. I was at the range yesterday at a different location, and I understood why the gentleman was kind of doing what he was doing, but it wasn't necessarily the safest. And what he was doing was he was starting with his loaded firearm down to his side, you know, and then coming up and taking his shot, getting his placement and stuff ready. It was a little bit exaggerated, but, you know, just keep in mind that in the indoor range or in any range really, especially with these concrete floors, if you're bringing it down and you're no longer pointing it in a safe direction, because in the range, downrange is always the safest direction. So trigger discipline is going to be very important, because you can very easily in excitement, you know, shoot yourself in the leg or shoot the ground, and then you get ricocheted. So that's fine. So it's just very important when you kind of, you know, being creative with what you're doing in the range. Make sure that you're following all of that particular range of safety rules. And in this case for us, the major rule we don't want to break is, you know, not keeping the gun pointed in the safe direction. All right. So 10 again. And I think this time what we're going to do, we're going to try to get a rapid succession here of these 10. Beep. So I do see one that was a little bit out to the far right. It looks like I hit that 8 right on time, but, you know, again, you know, everything really inside the target area. I think I'm gonna do one more set, kind of fast, kind of a build drill style. We're gonna slow down and do 5 in a row this time. Trying to stretch the ammo out a little bit as we come to the end of our second set. So I got my magazine, firearm, and here we go. Oh yeah, I was all over with that one. And so that's kind of part of the excitement. You can't get excited just pulling that trigger fast, you know, but what you got to make sure you're doing is mitigating that recoil. So trying to keep the gun good and flat so your sight picture stays the same, and making sure that you're pulling that trigger, you know, once that sight picture matches what you want. Now, pulling the trigger as fast as you can, sometimes it gets a little bit iffy in that respect, but you know, I don't know if this my headphones are catching all of my verbal commentary. If not, I definitely do voiceover. this time we're gonna go from an empty firearm that to slide forward. I got 5 rounds in here. Let's see what we got. Alright, still looking pretty good. Alright, so this time with this 10, let's see. Last 10. Slow down and see if we can't get these things right in the middle. All right, y'all, so that's 100 rounds. Done diddy. Was I recording? Okay, good, I was recording. So let's bring this back in.
I hope so.
All right, so this really being the majority of my shots kind of right in here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 outside of the 8. That break line, that's actually on the 8. So out of 100, that's 96 shots within the 8 or less. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 11 outside of the 9. I can't tell how many outside of the 10. So, at 5 to 7 yards, I think this is respectable. Again, I got a lot of these outliers when either trying to shoot fast or when I was trying to shoot fast, because this was definitely trying to shoot fast. And these were two where I kind of pulled the trigger before my sight picture kind of returned to where I wanted it. So that's it. Switch to the Akeezy.